Recording is on.
Yeah, I have just shared my screen. Just let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, sure. So, today we'll be discussing factory method. So, what comes to your, what do you think when you hear the term factory? Anyone?
A production unit, like a
Yeah,
production uh,
yeah,
warehouse,
and
something
that's
like.
correct. Yeah, that's correct. So, factory is a place where things are produced, things are created. Okay, and so this, and then we have the term method. So method basically is referring over here to the function method that we have inside the class. Okay, so factory method together, it basically means that a method that is creating something, that is responsible for creating products or creating something. Okay, so from there they have termed this as factory method. So basically the goal of this particular pattern is to help write code that separates creation from use. Let's say you have a client, and your client is basically you have different kinds of products that your code is business logic is dealing with, and then you have your client. So the client, I mean the client should not know that, how your methods are being created, how the objects are being created. Okay, that whole object creation logic should be abstracted out. So factory method, in this case, comes into picture. And we should be creating objects in a different place than where we use them. So the client code basically, which uses all the different kinds of objects and interacts with the different kinds of objects. So it shouldn't concern, it shouldn't know, how or how or why, which kind of objects are being created. Okay, so this is what factory method, in a very simple terms, means. So first we'll look at the UML diagram, and then I have taken an example basically of a audio and video exporter. So if you remember, you might have sometime exported audio or video formats to different formats. Let's say, you might have converted those, right? Audio and video converters. So depending on your use case, you must have converted into a lossless format, where the quality is maintained, the quality is of the highest quality, a video or audio quality. And then you might have, just to save space or just to make it short, you might have compressed it, or you might have exported it into a quality that is like, that basically doesn't gives you the best quality, but reduces its size. I mean it basically saves you time. It will, like, export all the audio or video very quickly. Correct. So I have just taken that particular example over here. So first we'll write the code for audio and video exporter without factory method, and then from there we'll step by step we'll move towards the factory method. We'll see how we can implement factory method in this case. Okay, and after that we'll just discuss quickly the pros and cons of using factory method. I mean, am I clear? Any questions?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So then let's just quickly create a UML diagram for abstract factory. Uh, Hello.
Yeah, yeah, you're audible,
Yes,
Anas.
yes, you are audible.
Okay, sure, sure. I'll just start creating the. So basically, we have different kinds of products. We have, let's say, we have product one. So we have different kinds of products. Let's say this is product one. Let's say we have.
Anas,
Are you sharing something different?
yes.
Because it is showing me the factory method and abstract factory.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I think I have not shared you the correct screen. Let me share the correct screen. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we have this. I have created. Is anyone on? Can anyone mute themselves? I think the voice is echoing. Okay, so we have two different kinds of products. One is product A and one is other one is product B. So these two are basically the interfaces or the abstractions, you can say. I'll just rename it to abstract. That, I mean, it's clear. Now we have different concrete products. I mean, all the abstractions that we have, uh, the different concrete product will be implementing these abstractions. Concrete product A, A, and then similarly we have concrete product B. Okay. So these two will be basically implementing their abstractions. This is over here, and this goes over here. This makes sense, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We have these two, and then after this, then we'll be having an abstract factory. So we'll be having an abstract factory. Then we'll be having concrete factory. So I mean, why do we require concrete factory? Because let's say we are basically abstracting the creation of these products, like different products that we have, product A and product B. We need to abstract it out. So when we are abstracting it, it might be possible that product A has multiple kind of products, like concrete product A1, concrete product A2, right? Because let's say, I mean, let's say if you talk about I mean, in the example that we have taken, let's say if you talk about a video exporter. So I mean, a video format, there can be different kinds of video formats, right? There is a high quality video format, then there is a MP4, then we have hi 422 format, right? Then we have a lossless format. Multiple kinds of different kinds of products are there. So different concrete factories will have their own implementation of which products to create. And does that make sense?
What exactly is the concrete factory? Is it a separate class?
Yeah, this will be a class. I mean, all these are, I mean, wherever I have written abstract, these are abstractions. Concrete basically means the actual implementation of an abstract or an interface.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
And
concrete
and
basically, yeah.
and how the concrete factory one is related to concrete product A and B?
I mean, so basically, if we see, here are different kinds of products are here. So when we have a client, let's say we have a client over here. Let's say we have a client over here, and so when we are using, I mean, when we have the client code, just a minute. This is my client. So when we are writing the client code, let's say, I mean, we are exporting the video over here, right? I mean, let's say product B is a video format. So concrete product B is a type of a video format. Let's say it's a lossless kind of video format. So in our code, I mean, based on the user's input, which product that we need to create? Do we need to create a lossless format? Do we need to export the video in lossless format? I mean, if the answer is yes, then within the client code we'll be creating an object for concrete product B. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So using abstract factory, what we'll do is, I mean, based on the user's input, we'll basically delegate the work of creating this particular object. Instead of creating it inside the client, we'll delegate it to this factory. The factory will, I mean, only the abstract, I mean, the client will only be able to see this abstract factory. It won't be able to see how many or what kind of concrete implementations are present over there. So the client will only see this abstract factory. The client will pass the inputs, whatever the inputs that the user enters. Let's say the user enters a high quality format export the user wants. So the client will pass that information to abstract factory, and based on which kind of concrete factory is supposed to be activated, is supposed to be created, the abstract factory will basically the return type of this the function inside this concrete factory will be the type of these products, product A, product B.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So code all the code that is supposed to create the object, that is supposed to create the different kinds of products, that will be abstracted over here. That will be delegated to this particular factory. That's why I mean we are referring to it as a factory. Okay.
Yeah,
Correct.
what is the difference? Suppose that if the client is create the concrete factory, right, and it
Yes.
will provide us the say that okay, there are so many different type of the product in there
Yeah. Yeah.
in here. So and from the concrete factory, we are just getting the any abstract factory. Yeah, there. What is the similarity? Yeah,
No.
relations between
No.
the
No.
concrete factory
No.
and abstract factory.
The concrete factory will basically return its I mean, let's say the concrete factory is supposed to, this particular concrete factory is for, let's say, uh, a high quality exporter. Let's say we have different kinds of high high exporter factory. It should be high quality exporter factory. And then let's say over here we have a fast exporter factory. Okay. So I mean, it's very clear that this I mean, first of all, I mean, is the code sorry, I mean, if this is visible properly to you or not. Is it visible
Yes,
properly?
it's
Yes,
visible.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's obvious that this fast exporter thing, it will basically create an object of the low quality audio and low quality video, because this is a fast exporter, right? It should be creating, returning you the object of low quality. I mean, it should basically export the formats into low quality, so that that's why I mean it will be fast, right? And this high quality exporter it might take some more time, but it will give you the high quality of audio and video. Okay. So these factories will basically return the products, will basically return the formatter that is required. I mean, does that make sense, or any doubts, any questions?
Yeah, I understood. Yeah.
Shivam?
Yeah, I have just one doubt. Ki
Yeah.
suppose client create the one just create the one concrete factory, right? And
Okay.
suppose it is the fast export factory. So it will
Okay.
create the one abstract factory, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So what is the abstract factory? It is related to the product abstract.
No. Abstract factory is a different kinds of factories that can be created. Different kinds of products that can be created. So I mean, let's say tomorrow, I mean, there comes a new kind of, I mean, you want to have a new implementation of abstract factory. You don't want to introduce the fast exporter and the high quality. Okay. You want to have a master quality of exporter you want. Then you can
So
come here and you can just add your own implementation of the master quality factory. You can create it over here.
basically in here we are just filtering out the factory regarding based on the just criteria that
Based on the
you are
criteria, yeah, based on the criteria, basically. I mean,
because
all of these classes can be implemented. I mean, in future, if you want a new kind of implementation of the factory, if you want and let's say in future, I mean, there can be a different kind of video format, right? So then you'll come over here and you'll create a new video over here. Let's say you created a new video over here. Let's say you created a new video over here. uh New video format. Okay. So I mean, if you have a new video format over here, so obviously, obviously your existing factory exporter factories won't be exporting this product, correct?
Yes, yes,
You got this right. Since this is a new video format, the existing factories won't be returning. I mean, this particular format, right? That's then in that case, what we'll do? We'll just go ahead and we'll just create a new factory based on whatever logic we want to give. We will just give the logic, and then we'll just return this new video format. Okay,
okay,
does it make sense?
yes, yes,
Yeah, so then I mean we'll just go through the code, and I think it will be more clearer. It will, I mean, if at all you have any more doubts, I think it will be more clearer. We'll just
sure.
quickly write the code. Video footer.
Anas, I think you have to share. You have to change the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The code screen is not visible. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just share it again. Yeah, let me know if it's visible.
Yes, it's visible.
It's visible.
Yes, yes,
Okay. Very quickly, I'll just write this code. So first of all, we'll create. So right now, I'm creating the product. So we have two products. One product is video exporter, and the other product, the second product that we have is audio exporter. Okay. So right now, I'll be creating this abstract class. Abstract class video exporter. It will have just two method abstract void prepare export. I mean, this video exporter will have only two jobs, two behaviors. One, it will be supposed to prepare the export, and the other, it will be supposed to prepare the uh, start the export basically. Okay, here we'll give the video path, and then similarly we'll create the start export and export path. It should be. This is clear, right?
Uh,
Now,
can you? Sorry, the voice got break. What is the difference between the two functions? Prepare and
yeah. So
start.
yeah. So basically, I mean, we have one exporter. The product we have is video exporter. So an exporter in our function in our program, it will do only two stuffs. One is it will prepare the export, whatever things that is required to prepare the export. It will do those steps, and then it will actually start the export. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
preparing this export, I mean, it will first pick up the video from that particular path. It will do some pre-processing. Okay. And
Okay.
when,
Okay.
yeah, when we run this start export, it will actually start exporting, and we can see it. Okay.
Got it. Got it. And
So
and
these two are, yeah.
and one more generic doubt.
Yeah.
Specific to Java, like
Yeah.
how abstract class is different from interface. Like I know both are almost same. Like when do we decide that we should use abstract class instead of interface?
I mean, so I mean, in this particular case, I mean, it's exactly similar like Python. I mean, the only difference is interface in Java is an explicit concept. In Python, interface is not an explicit concept,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So over here, I mean, I could have very well written, this as an interface. I would have applied this as an interface. That's fine. So I mean,
Okay.
the only difference is if I have an abstract class over here, I can go ahead and write a function over here. Let's say void print, and I can write all the implementations over here. I can write all the implementations.
But that can be done with the like in interface also, right? By defining a default method.
No. I mean, in interface, by default, all the, I mean, not by default, every method that you describe in an interface will be abstract. Every method will be abstract, and every
Correct.
variable will be a fine method.
I think from my point of view, we can say कि interface is just a blueprint of the particular classes, all type of the classes, and that we just like because which type of the functions or which type of the parameters we will use at particular classes, we are just initialize in the interfaces.
Yeah,
We
I
can
mean,
say it is the blueprint like that because we are also saying the class is the blueprint for the object, right?
yeah,
So it is defined as that key. It is just the
I mean, you cannot. I mean, I'm not sure if you can refer it as a blueprint, but I mean, the
not
thing is, yeah, I mean, the thing is,
not
an interface. I mean, an interface will basically you can refer it as a contract. Whatever it is defined in an interface. All the subclasses, all the child classes are supposed to implement it very strictly. Okay, and that the difference between an abstract class in a Java and interfaces in abstract class I can come over here and write a function and define a function over here. In interface I cannot do that in Java.
Makes sense. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the difference with Python as well, because in Python we basically implemented it as an ABC class, right? Abstract base class, and I mean we don't have any concept of explicit concept of interface over there. That's what the difference is. In this case I could have used interface as well, but that's fine. I mean we can use abstract also. We'll move ahead. So I mean this is a contract that I had defined, that okay, my exporter should have two functions: prepare export and start export. So let's define the different kinds of product that we can have. So I define, first of all I'll define a lossless video exporter. So yeah, I mean my lossless video exporter should implement, I'm sorry, it won't be implement. We basically implement the interfaces and extend the classes. So abstract class is also a kind of class. So I'll extend it. Okay. And then we have uh, these two functionalities. So have this system dot out dot println. So I'll just print it, since this is a lossless video exporter. So I'll write it pairing export for lossless video codec. Okay, and exporting should be exporting video lossless video codec at, I'll just give the location over here, export path. Clear?
Yeah. I think you need to remove the abstract keyword in while
Yes,
implementing.
yes, definitely. I need to remove that and move it from here. So the second kind of format that we'll create is we'll create H264 baseline profile. So preparing export for H.264 baseline file video codec. Okay, video to exporting video to H.264 baseline profile video codec at export path. It's fair enough. Next, we'll have one more product. We'll have three products for video. This will be H264 I422. This is the high, I mean, a high quality. I mean, this is a high quality, this is a low quality, and this is the best quality. I mean, the lossless is the best over here. Okay, we'll just rename it high 422 video codec. Okay, so our video exporter class is complete. Any questions?
No.
No, it's clear.
Yeah, so we have one product complete. We'll be creating another product, audio exporter .java. It will be similar to video exporter. I'll just copy the code, abstract class, and then it will be audio exporter. So for audio exporter as well, there will be two steps. One will be prepare export, and one will be start export. Okay. Now we'll have different kinds of different kinds of products for this abstraction. One format that we are taking is AAC exporter, and that will extend audio exporter. Okay. And then we have void. Okay, I'll just quickly copy this. Remove the abstract. Okay. Now the same thing I'll be just printing over here. Okay, let's copy the complete thing. So one is the prepare export. It will be audio path, and this will be the export path. Okay. So AAC audio exporter preparing export for AAC audio codec. And AAC audio codec at export path. Make sense? We'll have a similar product. The name of the product will be Wave audio exporter. We have that WAV format, right? So it will be that format, WAV format, and over here also WAV audio codec. Okay. So we have both our products ready. Any questions?
No.
No.
Okay. So now, yeah. Now we'll just go, we have two different kinds of product abstractions, and then we have multiple products for both the abstractions. Now we'll just go ahead and create our main file, main.java. Class main public void main string args. So inside this, let's say I have a string export quality that can be low or high or master, and then I basically create video, the references over here, video exporter, that will be null. And then I have audio exporter, null. That's fine. And now, yeah, now this particular thing will be the input. Okay. So export quality and come from either configuration, some configuration, or directly from user. Okay. So I mean, the thing that this is, I have a hard coded over here, export quality as low, but I mean in return this can come from anywhere. There can be a function over here that will basically fetch the the export quality, the type of export quality from either from the user, or it can come from a system configuration or some configuration. Okay, you got this. Now what we'll do is, based on what kind of export quality do we have. Let's say I have export quality equals to low. Okay, in that case I'll create a video exporter. Video exporter is equal to new, and h and low one we have. For low we have uh, lossless is the highest quality. Low we have H264 BP. New H264 BP video exporter. Okay, and audio exporter we have, for low quality we have new AAC. Okay.
In low, we are calling the H264 in the low. Yeah, low
Yeah,
slash.
yeah. This is the low. I'll just add some comments over here. So this is low quality. I mean, just to be extra clear, I'll just mention over here. And this is highest quality. Lossless one is the highest quality because, I mean, there's no data loss and it will export it properly. I mean, the best quality. And
Yes.
then we have this is the high quality, I mean, or you can say in this term medium quality. Okay, so we have these three. So if the export quality is low, then we have H264 BP video exporter. And audio, there are only two. AAC is the low quality and WAV is the best quality. Then else if my export quality is equals to let's say it's high. In that case, what I'll do, I'll simply go ahead and create a H264 high quality. This is a high quality, and the audio will be the same. And then if we have uh, export quality as master, okay, this is the best quality. In this case, we'll have lossless exporter. Okay, and the audio will be WAV. Okay. If you see carefully, so this particular thing is the client code, and inside the client code we had written this particular code. What this particular code is doing, it is basically, I mean, it is basically applying some logic. Based on some logic, it is creating the objects. So I mean, the client code is itself creating the object, right? So this is what we are doing over here. And let's say if we go ahead and we write we just do these work that the exporter is supposed to do. First it will prepare for export, and let's say we have some video data is over here, some video data is there. And then audio is similarly for audio exporter also. I'll just prepare the export, and there is some audio data. Okay, and I prepared the export. Now I'll actually do the export. Video exporter dot start export, and I have some path. Let's say user temp something. Okay, similarly we do for the audio as well. Okay, so I'll just run this. I mean, in an online IDE. I don't have the JDK installed in my in the system. I'll just run it. I mean, you got the code, right? Any doubts with the code?
Yeah. Can you go to the image and that we diagram .io?
Yes, correct.
Can you go there?
Let me just go to the diagram. Let me share. Yeah, so you're able to see this diagram, right? Hello?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, so till now what we have done is we have done this part of the code. We have written this part of the code. We have
Yes.
written a client code. We have created two different abstract products and their implementations of their set of products. For audio exporter, we had created two different concrete products, and for video exporter, we had created three different concrete products. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. So I'll just quickly run the code. If you want, I'll just run the code. I had previously written the code over here. I'll just open my snippet from here. Factory method 4. Yeah. So I had written the same code over here previously. I mean, this is the main function. Here we are applying that logic, which objects you create, and this is the export quality. Let's say I select low, and then we have below we have this video exporter, all the abstract classes and their product implementations are written over here. Okay, so now if I run it, so you see,
Unless, sorry, one basic question, very basic question. Let's say if we have implemented in 3 different files, then we have to also give it, not just, I'm not asking about the IDE part, but
okay,
casually, if we have implemented in 3 different files, if we had run this in our local system, then
yeah,
we should have give the package name and then be in each of the
yeah,
file, right?
yes, correct,
Oh,
you're correct.
okay,
Correct.
okay,
So,
perfect. Thank you.
I mean, over here, I just showed you. I mean, how we'll be proceeding with the code. I mean, that's what, because I
Yeah, yeah,
mean, if I just present it to you, I mean that will be difficult to understand. So,
correct,
just to
correct,
make it
correct.
simple, I just created it like this.
Sure, no problem. It's absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, that's fine. So, uh, I mean, at my workplace, this is my workplace system. This is my office system, and I basically work in Python. So I mean, I didn't have JDK. That's why I don't want to install it into this office laptop. So that's why.
No, it's absolutely fine. I just want to know, like, if in case I have to do it in my local setup, then should I include that package
So you'll have
statement
to
along?
include. Yeah, you'll have to include the package thing. You'll have to
Oh,
include.
okay, good. Thank you.
So yeah, so this is low. The export quality is low, and now if I run it, I just run it. You'll get the output over here. Null pointer exception, line number 21. Okay.
You should have to put the small low.
Yeah, small low. That will just be a small low. And now if I run it, it will give me all the low quality stuffs. So H.264 baseline profile is the low quality one, and AAC also is the low quality one. Okay. Now if I put it as high, it will give me a high quality export, HI422 and AAC. And if I do it as master, it will give me a the best quality, the lossless export for video and WAV format for audio. It's fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions around it? I mean, from here we'll just move to, I mean, how to extract out the how to extract out this code creation part that we have in the client. We'll just delegate it to factory. Okay. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, so if I go over here right now, so next what I'll do is we'll have to create factories first. Okay. So for creating the factory, so I mean, if I go and check in the diagram part, if you see over here, first we have to create one abstract factory, and then we'll have different implementations of factories. Okay. So I'll just go over here. I'll just name it exporter factory dot Java. So this will again be an abstract class. It can be an interface as well, no issues. Exporter factory. And so the exporter factory, since we have two products over here, one is the audio exporter and the video exporter. I mean, if you remember, I said earlier that the factory is only responsible for creating products. Okay, so if this exporter factory is creating products, I mean, if I have a method where it is creating the products, so I mean, what would be the type of the method return statement? I mean, what type of product that the factory should return?
Like whether it's like high quality, low quality.
Yeah, I mean you're correct. So basically, I mean I cannot define it as high quality or low quality. I mean that should come in the implementation part. This is abstraction. So in the abstraction, I should be mentioning the type of the abstract class.
Okay,
Right.
so either audio or video.
Audio or video, yeah, correct. So I mean the type that I should be returning over here, first I'll take abstract, and then one will be video exporter. I'll name it as we get video exporter. Okay. And then I'll be having an abstract. But since we have two, I mean, let's say if we had only video exporter, we should have just stopped over here. I mean, our factory will be dispensing only one kind of product. Then I have audio exporter over here. Let me remove extra spaces. Okay. Simple. And now, based on the kind of product that we can create, let's create. I mean, based on the kind of products we create, we'll create different kinds of factories. Let's create first a fast exporter. Name it fast exporter into the factory. And over here, if we do this, so for video exporter, so yeah, so the fast exporter, since I mean time is a constraint over here for fast exporter, it will export it to, I mean, whichever it can do at the fastest. So it will basically export a low quality product. Okay, so it will simply return new. The low quality video was H264 BP. Yeah, fun. And for audio, it was simple. It was AAC. Fine. So this is a fast exporter factory. Similarly, I'll create two more factories. One will be the high quality exporter factory. High quality exporter factory. This will basically give you a H264 high video exporter, and this will be AAC only. That's fine. Then there will be a master quality. We had three different types of configuration, right? Low, high, and master. So this will give you the master quality. So master quality will obviously contain the lossless video exporter and the wave audio exporter. Is this fine?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, this is simple. We just created one exporter factory, and based on that exporter factory, if we implemented three different factories, three different types of factories, which are returning. I mean, the only job of the factory is to return products, create and return products. So it is creating the product, creating the object, and it is returning it. Simple. So now again we'll come back to our main class. Okay. In
I
our
have
main class,
I have one question.
yeah,
Uh,
sure.
let's say our audio exporter has four subproducts, four sub qualities, four qualities, and video
Okay.
has two qualities.
Okay.
Uh, then in that case, when we create a abstract factory method, and there we if we say like it should return both audio and video, and then we try to create a sub implementations of that abstract factory method, like how many implementations should we create? Should we create two or should we create four? Because
No,
if
no,
we
no. So
create 2, then
yeah,
we will miss 2 videos, and if we create 4, then we don't know what to create for
what
audios.
to? I mean, that's correct. I mean, your point is correct, but I mean, there is a very subtle nuance over here. So I had created these three factories based on the three possible configurations, that is low, high, and master. I
Hmm.
haven't created I haven't created this because of, like, I have three video exporters and three audio exporters. So, in short, if you see over here, I have only two audio exporters. If you see over here, I have only two audio exporters, right? But I'm creating over here three different kind of exporter factory. One is
Oh,
the, I'm using AAC audio exporter in two different ones. I mean,
okay, okay. I didn't observe that. Sorry, sorry.
what?
My bad.
Yeah.
My,
So this, I'll just clear your confusion. So basically, it depends. It doesn't depend on the number of products that you have, the number of mix and match that you are doing in your exporter factory. That is what.
hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So the mix and match that we have over here is like low, high, and master. In low, I am using H264 BB for video exporter and AAC audio for audio exporter. And
Correct,
the
correct, correct.
same audio exporter I'm using for high quality also. Low and high quality both are same. Master, I have a different audio format.
Mm, mm. So,
Okay.
so this logic goes, uh, uh, so this logic is decided by the client code, or like, so sorry, my bad. My question is like, uh, this implementation, key,
Yeah.
okay, for low and high, this
Yeah.
audio exporter class should be picked up. So this logic will be decided by the person who creates the actual implementation of these classes, or like the person who creates factory code,
No,
or
no.
the
So this is basically your business logic. I mean, the business comes to you and says that, okay, you should be giving us. The let's say you are building this audio video exporter for your client. The client comes and say that, okay, we want one quality should be low, one quality should be high, and the other one should be master. For
Hmm,
low, you should be creating these two different profiles, codec profiles, and for high, you should be exporting to these two profiles, like that. So this is basically a business logic.
oh,
Earlier, if you're not using factory method, you'll be mentioning, obviously you'll be mentioning all your the object creation over here. The logic
hmm,
is here, that's fine. But if you see over here, the object is being created over here.
correct, correct, correct.
Let's say tomorrow some new profile, the client comes to you and they say that, okay, what kind of audio video exporter you have created, we want a better exporter, and let's say we are introducing some new formats, codec formats. Then you'll basically come over here and you'll basically need to add an else if condition over here. You
Hmm.
basically have to do that, right, based on whatever the format that you have. And you'll be creating the object again over here. You'll be again creating video exporter and audio exporter some new types.
And that breaks the open close principle.
That breaks the open code principle in terms like, if you are adding this some new, if you are adding export quality, some export quality you are adding. And then, basically, you shouldn't be the client code shouldn't be concerned with what kind of objects are being created. The client code should be completely blind of that, because over here we are actually mentioning the kind of object that we are creating. H264 we are creating over here, we are creating a HI422 over here, we're getting a lossless over here. So this shouldn't be. So basically, the actual thing should be, it should work on abstraction.
Correct, correct. Now it makes sense. Yeah, yeah,
It makes sense, right?
yeah.
So yeah, so what we do over here is like, I mean, I've created the factory, one abstract class for the factory, and then different implementations of the factory based on the mix and match that the client wants. The client wants a fast exporter, a high quality exporter, and the master quality exporter. Okay. So now what I'll do is, uh, so basically, I'll just create one more function over here. So this part basically, this part, I mean, giving the configuration. So I'll just basically extract it out to one more function. Let's say I name it as public static, and the kind, it will basically return you with a factory that you should work with. So so if you see over here, I'm not giving a concrete implementation of the factory. The return type is not a concrete implementation. This is an abstraction. Exporter factory is an abstract class. If you see over here, exporter factory is an abstract class.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So the return type of this function will be, it will based on whatever the configuration that the user presents this function with, the input to this function, it will basically return a type of exporter factory, a subclass of exporter factory.
Correct.
And since,
Correct.
yeah, since because of polymorphism, we can refer to an object with its superclass reference.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
work
Yeah.
properly. And then let's say I name it read factory. Read factory. Read factory is over here, and over here so again, I'm just hard coding this over here, but this can come from some user input, or it can come from some configurations, some system configurations or something. Okay, I'm just hard coding it over here. Next, I'll just quickly create a map string exporter factory, and type again. I'm using an abstraction over here, exporter factory, and then I'll name it as factory equals to new hash map string comma. I'm just using a map over here. In Python that will be quite simpler. You just use a dictionary. That key value pair you can use directly in dictionary. So that will be easy in Python. New hash map string fine. Is that map string exporter factory? Yeah, this is correct. And then I'll just add stuff to my factory. Factory dot. I'm just adding factory dot put for low quality. I am adding for low quality. I should be giving you a fast exporter factory. And then for if I have a high quality, getting a high quality exporter factory return. Okay, so over here it is, we are just deciding which factory we have to work with. We're not getting the objects over here, we're just deciding which factory we need to work with. And then we have a master master quality. Once we have done this, so based on whatever the input the user gives you, whatever the input the user gives in export quality, we'll basically fetch it factory.get export quality. Export quality. That's all this read factory would do. Once we had read, so we don't need this. We don't need this line, and we don't essentially need. We don't need these. I'll be just commenting this for now. We don't need this as well. So we had defined video exporter equals to null, and audio exporter reference object equals to null. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll basically have video exporter. But, I had created the reference over here, but we need to have the object, right? Now, what we have done is we have removed. Earlier, what we were doing was we were creating the objects over here, right? Now, what we have done is we had delegated the creation of object to the factory. Okay, so now whatever factory, let's say we rename it. It's not rename, but let's say we have a factory over here. Exporter factory equals to read factory. So we'll just go ahead and read input from the user and return you with a factory, with an appropriate factory. This will be function of this read factory. So now I have the factory, right? But now earlier we were creating the objects via this code. The logic was here. So now what we'll do is video exporter equals to, we have factory. We'll just ask for video exporter. For video exporter, we'll just ask factory, just create an object of video exporter. I don't know which video exporter you are supposed to create, but create an object of video exporter and return it to me. Okay. And then similarly for audio exporter, just go ahead and say, okay, I don't know which audio exporter I'm meant to work with. You know that, the factory knows it. Just give it to me. Just create the audio exporter object and just give it to me. The only thing which I know is that every video exporter will be having a prepare export method. Every audio exporter will be having a prepare export method, and similarly every audio and video exporter will be having a start export method. Okay, so I don't know how you are creating the object, and I don't know the logic behind it. You just create it and just give it to me. Okay, and we can just remove this code. Okay, do you see any we are only dealing with the factories over here, which factories we need to use, and all of these are like I mean, what kind of factory that we want to use, we are using it, and we are simply working on abstractions over here. This is the client code and we are working only on abstraction. We are not concerned with how the objects are created and what kinds of objects are created. Tomorrow if we want to add some new factory, we can just go ahead and add it. Any question, any doubt?
So let's say in future, if a new format comes, irrespective of the audio or video, then we need to basically update at two places. One is like in the factory implementation, and one basically in this hash map.
In this hash map, we'll have to add it in the hash map, and we can just extend it via this exporter factory. We can just go ahead and we can just create a new class, let's say sample new factory.
Correct. So basically,
That will extend.
correct. So basically, a new factory implementation and corresponding mapping in the main.java.
Yeah, that's all we'll have to do. So if I now run it,
Yeah.
all of these code contains all of the code. The main function, I mean, this factory object, factory reference will basically get a factory kind of factory from read factory. It will get a video exporter, it will get a fetch a audio exporter, and then it will just prepare and start export. If I run it, this is for low profile, for low quality. We are exporting it to H.264 and AAC. Let's say if we do it for master, a lossless quality, and for video, and WAV for audio. This is what. And this particular code right now has a very loose coupling. I mean, it's very loosely coupled, and I mean it has high cohesion. I think this code makes more sense. Any questions?
No. So can we see one thing that the concrete factory will provide us only the just related to the product, right?
Yeah. The concrete factory will basically the concrete factory is up to up to us. I mean, what kind of implementation we want to put it over there, what kind of video and what kind of audio export codecs we need to work with. The client code will basically only deal with this exporter factory. The client code doesn't know, I mean, what else do we have? The client code will mostly work with exporter factory. Similarly, for audio exporter, I mean, if let's say tomorrow we go and add some new audio exporter, and tomorrow we just go and add some new video exporter, we'll create a new factory over here, and that will basically implement extend this exporter factory. We'll apply some logic and we'll just return the object over there, and then we'll have to just come over here and we'll just have to add it to this particular map, and that's all. Wherever
we had all type of the functionality that we are just doing regard, but we just show only the particular
this particular code won't be changed. this particular code won't be touched.
Yes, yes.
We'll not have to touch this particular code.
So,
Any other question? Yeah.
Anas, I was just one more thinking, like, so that main.java represents the whole main.java code represents a client code, right? So even in our non-factory approach method, we have to make modifications whenever a new audio video converter was introduced. Like we need to add the if
Yeah.
else condition. And
Yeah.
even in case of factory approach, we have to update this main.java by adding that by adding and entering the hash map. So basically, client still has to like modify his script based on changes done in the exporter files. So I was just wondering like how the so if we like make if we can make this this
So,
method read factory method decoupled from the client code, then will it not become then I think client code will not at all depend upon like what changes are done in
yes,
export.
Jatin. So yeah. So Jatin, you are absolutely correct.